Good morning. Welcome to Monday Morning Roar. Today is Monday, the 25th of May. We've now been in this coronavirus pandemic, stay at home, safer at home, for a little over 2 months, and lots of the states are easing their restrictions on going back to work, which is very important because it's difficult. If you can think about people working and all of a sudden stopping for 2 months, changes lives quite a bit. One of the ways things that we've seen a lot of, and one of the ways that people are reacting to this no working and not having the businesses open is there are a lot of protests. You see them on television. My home state of Michigan has had quite some publicized ones. And right here in my South Bay area of Los Angeles, we've had quite a few of them as well. You might have seen the one at Huntington Beach down in Orange County. And just recently, a little over a week ago, we had one in Torrance. Now, the interesting part about this is I try to figure out when I see one of these, what's their overall purpose? What are they trying to accomplish by having this protest? Now, I know that a protest is, I'm not saying anybody should have a protest. I know that protests are a right and a freedom we have, and one of the wonderful things we have for living in the United States is the freedom to protest. Although what is the purpose of a protest, and what is the purpose of a specific protest that we see? And I think, from what I understand, a protest brings the attention to it. If you can get the television on, there might be a concern that people don't know about, and you can bring attention to it by having a protest, bring enough people together, and someone would know about that. That's a great way to bring attention to something that people might not know about. In the case of opening the country back up, the businesses up, I think there's pretty well awareness that needs because people aren't going to work. So I don't think that in itself. So it seems to me that a lot of it is very hate-based and intimidating-based. I know when I saw the television reports from the protests in Lansing, Michigan, that people are carrying semi-automatic weapons. Now, I know they didn't use them, but there's the old thing, if you don't plan on using a gun, why carry it? And unless it's just to intimidate. And the same way with the local ones, it seems like there was a lot of bashing the local officials, local and state, and maybe even the federal officials. I see now that people want to bash the doctors and the people in the Center for Disease Control, and they don't believe them. They know more than they do, and they want to bash them, and so they want to publicly bash them. And through a protest, and maybe even through social media, they think they have an opportunity to do that. Here's my challenge. If you have a concern, if you have a problem, that's great. Now, once you've identified that problem, let's start working towards a solution. The solution. What's the solution? How do we get people back to work safely? How do we get them back to work so that this doesn't happen and spike up again? What protective measures do we need to take? That's what we should be working on now, instead of just bullying and ripping up our current politicians. Let's put together a plan. Let's propose that plan to the businesses. Let's get them to be able to open up safely. When we demonstrate, and we aren't using common sense when there's an infectious disease like this, we're not using our social or physical distancing. It's physical distancing. We're not wearing face masks. We're posing for pictures, huggy-duggy with each other without face mask on. That's not going to speed up getting back to work. To get back to work, you have to have a solution. Talk with the people in the businesses. Find out what they're doing. Align it with the city government. Make the two work together. Then you can make some difference. You can make a change. Making a protest does not change anything. Having a plan, having a goal, having action steps, achieving those goals, getting that in, that's what makes the difference. And this is nothing new. This is for any type of problem. You can complain about anything all you want, and that doesn't do any good. But if you put some thought to it, and you put some little elbow grease into it, you can get the solution. Have a wonderful week. I'm looking forward to talking to you next month, because the next Monday is June 1st. Thanks a lot. Bye.